Well, hello everyone. Dan Hurd with Dan Hurd Prospecting here. Welcome back to my channel. And if you're new, welcome. I hope to earn your subscription today. This is my final day on the claim in the Motherload of California, finding awesome gold. Today, my plan is to do some panning of that material that we detected and see if there's any gold in there that was too small for us to detect with those great detectors. After that, Bryan is coming up and he is going to do some detecting on the hills above. If he finds anything good, I'll go up and join him there. But I have one last day to enjoy the amazing gold of the California Motherload. So wish me luck, and I hope you enjoy. Now this pile right here produced probably 20 or 30 nuggets and specimens of gold. And something I found when I was cleaning my specimens from here, toothbrush, you know, hot water, everything, is that a lot of the gold was not actually attached and it would fall off. And my thought is, if there are so many big pieces here that we could detect, how many of those had pieces on them that fell off that are too small to detect? I want to take some of this gravel here. I've got a tub, I've got some water. I just want to pan out a little bit and see if there's any gold free in the gravels, too small for us to detect, and then get an idea of how much there is. Because Bryan has an idea of bringing a machine up here, a trommel up here, and running this all. It'll be a great test to see how much we think we can recover from that material. I don't have much water. I don't have a very big bin. I'll have to make do with what I have.
And a little later in the video, I want to explain what happened with the officer yesterday, what caused it, what happened, and how it all played out in the end. We'll talk about that a bit later.
Okay, we are ready to go. Now, because we moved this material around so much with the machine yesterday, there is no rhyme or reason to where we're gonna dig. It was all mixed up through here. Yes, we found most of our nuggets over there, but we've pushed that around so much that who knows. I'm just gonna take a random spot and fill a pan. Now, I'll probably end up using the big Garrett Super Sleeves for panning this out. I just got the little pan right here for the first test. And yeah, first time, we're not gonna classify anything. We're just gonna throw it all through and see what it looks like. Gotta really break this stuff up. Agitate it a lot. And then have a look at every last little rock. For this first pan, I just want to get a real good idea of what's going on in this gravel. Now you can see we're about 5%, even less than 5% quartz in there. Now the quartz is typically what the specimens are on, although some of them are in an ironstone as well. And yeah, it all crushed up stuff. We have a feeling this stuff has come from the old time miner's crusher. I don't see anything gold and shiny shining back at me. Interesting looking stuff. Let's get down to the bottom and see if there's any gold in it. Well, any gold? Well, let's hope. Put some cleaner water in to do the backwash. Not seeing any big nuggets, that's for sure. Lots of iron in there. There's a chunk of iron right now. Lots of little pieces of iron. Oh, there's a piece of gold. Let's get the close-up on that. Looks like one. One little piece. Now that's actually a heck of a lot less than I was expecting. I thought we would have dozens of those in this pan. Interesting. Let's do another pan and find out if we have more in the second. And pan 2. Slightly different spot. Pan 2 had no gold. I'll keep doing this till I find something. This is what the gold is hiding in. These big quartz rocks. Well, usually in smaller quartz rocks. They're broken up, but that's the quartz the gold's hiding in. Absolutely. And that would be pan 3. No gold in it either. Whoop, there it is. Look at that little piece of gold in there. Another close-up shot needed.
There we go. There is some gold in this gravel. I was hoping for multiple pieces every pan, though. I might just have to find the right spot.
Nothing in the next pan. I can't believe how much iron is in these pans. Rusted up iron. This is an old mine site, so there's, you know, rusted nails and rusted everything everywhere. But my goodness, the bottom of the pan is just full of iron. Full of it. Let's get the close-up on that to show you what I mean.
Iron, iron everywhere. Some of it might be pyrite cubes and stuff like that, but a lot of it's just going to be old machinery rusted down and broken up, and it's just chunks of rust left behind. I'm going to find that much gold in a pan. That'd be nice. Perfect little pyrite cube here. So some of the iron we are seeing in the pan is natural. You can tell because there's a pyrite cube.
So I'm at about 11 pans later, and still no more gold. Which, you know, this was a learning thing anyways. It wasn't about recovering gold. I knew I wasn't going to get much, but I was expecting a little bit. Very interesting to know that we are finding all of those specimens in this material, yet there seems to be nothing fine in this material. Makes me really wonder what created this material. Did it already go through some machine that has extracted all the fine stuff, and it was only the gold that was still attached to quartz that made it through? Interesting thing about quartz, it's one of the lightest minerals around versus gold, which is one of the heaviest minerals around, making it so that when they're together, they average out to something that is kind of just, you know, average, and doesn't necessarily get caught up in a sluice box or even a pan. So the fact that the specimens we were finding all had quartz on them, that could be why they were left behind in this material. Could also be why I can't pan anything, because it may have already been extracted from here, and the stuff that is left has quartz attached, so it's not actually heavier, so you can't pan it out. There we go. Another pan with nothing. That's 11 and 1. Well, very interesting results. 2 little pieces and no more. This spot here had so many specimens. Very odd. I think now I'm going to try moving just to the right a little bit. See that little structure right there? That is an old stamp mill. And this was where they were sampling. The old mine site was right here. So there's the old stamp mill. And I think I'm gonna sample a couple spots around the stamp mill and see if they were stamping out some ore that might have some little gold in it. So I've dug a hole down to some sort of hard pack down here. Really hard material. I'm hoping it's the crush from the crusher that has sort of concreted down there, not that it's old concrete or anything like that. Pan it out and find out. This will have to be the last pan I do before I switch out my water. I can fill the water tub twice, and I'm now just panning in straight mud, like nasty mud. Unfortunately, once washed off, that material does not look like quartz crush. I'll pan it down, but I'm not expecting anything now. Gotta find where the discharge of the quartz crush was. Look at this stuff now. I'm just panning pure straight up mud. Nasty. No gold, just iron. Okay, time to swap out that water. Nasty. Now where to go next? Brian's not here yet, so I still have time to do something. I'll figure it out.
Well, another piece of gold. Been a long time since I saw one of those in a pan. Now there's actually 2 or 3 in this pan. There's that one there, back at the edge of the sands there, the heavies. There's another piece, and I saw one over here somewhere, right there. So, 3 in one pan. I'm gonna go do another pan from that spot. Hard rock gold, baby.
A second wash back of that pan showed 3 more pieces. So yeah, there was gold up there. Let's do that one again.
Pan 2 from that same spot. 3 more pieces. There's actually a lot more than 3, but there's 3 sizable pieces and then a whole bunch of powder.
Well, that's very odd. 2 more pans from the same spot, no gold. I mean the same spot. I'm digging right out of the same hole that I was digging the first 3 pans from. I'm gonna continue there for a while because that's got me intrigued. And woohoo! That might be the nicest piece of the day so far. There it is. Get the close up on it. Right beside that pyrite cube.
A little micro nugget. I'm gonna put that on my finger so you can see how big it actually is. It's small. There it is. Freshly out of the quartz. Never been washed by water other than in my pan. Hard rock nugget. Nice. And yet another pyrite cube. Pyrite cubes, yes! Gold, no. Those are almost like a 1/4 inch across, those ones.
Well, again, I think I might have to be done with this water. I did save enough that I could probably fill up one more time. But this is just solid mud. It's crazy how thick this water is now. It's not even pouring out. Oh, it's pouring out, but it's pouring out thick. Like, look at that. Water can get thick enough with mud that it really starts affecting your recovery. And I think I'm there. I've got the viscosity of a thin oil right now. When I get down to like that nastiness there, I pour a bit of clean water in, swish it all around, pour the clean water out, and then pour another load of clean water in for rinsing back and seeing what I have. Oops, I didn't wash this one all that well. There's mud in the bottom. 117 pans later, and we're still not finding gold all that frequently. I'm gonna go try some different spots. There's a draw over there. I'm gonna see if I can get some gravel at the bottom of it. And then there's a tailings pile way down there. I'm gonna try it. But I have to switch my water over first. If you don't like getting dirty, don't do this job. I am so disgustingly muddy. Look at my pads. Yeah, yuck. Now that pan's just out of the bottom of the wash. Fresh water, beautiful day. I'm here in California, having fun, even though I'm not finding great gold today. I have found unbelievable gold over the last week here on this claim, so I cannot complain if I have one day that's not really showing me the best. I may have found more gold in the last week here than I have all year. It's quite possible. Nothing in the draw. Let's go check out the tailings pile. Now, during the competition, someone found a nugget right there. This is the old tailings pile here. So I'm just gonna scoop from right where they found the nugget and see if that nugget shed any gold or anything else around it shed some gold. Not sure where Bryan is. He was supposed to be here hours ago. I know he's dealing with some BLM stuff and returning the excavator and all sorts of stuff today. He said he'd be late, but late was 2 hours ago. Anyhow, walking up to the top of the pan. Let's hope for some gold. Not quite the material I would expect to find gold in. There is a bit of crushed quartz there. A lot of that andesite crushed up. It's eluding me, so we'll try everything. Now it's washed, there's a bit more quartz in there that I can see. Actually, there's a lot of quartz in there. This might be more quartz than what I'm getting up here. Okay. Come on, gold. A lot of quartz in here. A lot of gold? Can we say a lot of gold? Say it with me. A lot of gold. Take out some of the chunks. I really should be looking at those carefully. That area was detected very well, so if there was anything big there, it would have been found. Okay, let's get some fresh water on that. Come on, gold. Come on, gold. no gold. Well, there was 2 other places down on that tailings pile I wanted to try, so keep at her. I saw a spot on the tailings pile that was just nothing but crushed up quartz. So I thought I'd want to take a pan from there. And sure enough, it's just loaded in quartz. Now, 90%, 99% of the quartz up here is barren of gold. It's just, is that the 1% that had gold in it? Let's see.
Very interesting. That pan had a whole bunch of micro fine gold in it. Like lots of it. Curiouser and curiouser. That would take forever to add up to anything.
So I saw this tailings pile the other day, absolutely loaded in quartz. So I figured this would be the one to see. This would be a one to see. This would be a spot. I don't know. There we go, a pan. I wasn't able to detect up here because the ground is so littered in trash. There was a signal every 3 inches all the way along this part of the pile. So yeah, I don't know what this stuff holds. I know it's a lot of garbage, but hopefully there's a lot of gold too. What a view. Look at that place. The California Motherload. Love it. But this is my last day here. How sad. It's a long walk up down to that tailings pile. And that's 3 of those treks I've done so far. Yep, that material is basically just all quartz. Let's hope it's not all quartz. Let's hope it's quartz and gold. Oh, I hear a truck a-coming. It's coming around the bend. I guess it's not a truck, it's probably a car. Hey, it's Bryan! Now we can find some gold. Yeah. Okay, there was 1 tiny piece of gold in there, and it was tiny.
Now, before I show you all the great gold I got this day, plus the nuggets that Bryan and I found in the afternoon, I should address the issue from my last video where I said the cops were called. There were a lot of people upset that I did not show the interaction between Bryan and the law enforcement officer from the BLM when he came up to talk with us. Now, I thought because this is not my claim and not my issue in any way at all, it would be very disrespectful of me to have my camera there recording them and, you know, shoving my camera in the face. Yes, I know I would be allowed to, but just because I can doesn't mean I should. So I gave my statement, I went off and continued to detect for the day, while Bryan and the law enforcement officer had their discussion. Now, some people were saying it was clickbait that I said the cops were called and then didn't show the interaction on camera. We did talk about it in the video and talked with Bryan about it after the fact in the video. But because I didn't show it in the video, said me saying that the cops were called was basically clickbait or a lie. But the cops were called, they did come up, they did talk with us, they did have some ramifications for what we were doing. Now, I can't really get into what was wrong with what we were doing, but let's just say Bryan had some miscommunication of who was putting in what paperwork and what that paperwork allowed them to do with that excavator. They were allowed to make the road in, they were allowed to push some stuff around, they weren't necessarily allowed to dig into the ground very much. And because they cleaned out a few of the old pits from the old mine site there, they pushed what they were allowed to do too far, and the officer had to say something. So that's all I want to get into on my video, because this is Bryan's mine, has nothing to do with me. Bryan is working through rectifying the mistakes he made right now. He took the slap on the wrist, and he's making sure that in the future he does things right and that there are no more issues into the future. So yes, the cops were called. Yes, there were ramifications. Yes, we did something wrong, but people make mistakes. Hopefully we've learned from that mistake.
And who was it that called the cops on us? Well, after reading a lot of social media comments, we have a fairly good idea who it was. But as I've been told since then, California is the land of Karens, so I guess it was to be expected. My apologies to anyone out there actually named Karen.
Anyhow, let's look at some gold.
Bryan is now here. Bryan for Bryan Thomas Gold.
What's up?
And he brought the detectors. There is no gold panning here. I will show you right here what I did get. Nice close-ups. May even put it under the microscope. But he's got the detectors. Let's go have some real fun.
Well, there is the gold for the day. And really, considering I was using a 10-inch pan for the whole day, I didn't go through that much volume of material.
And to get that kind of gold, you know, it might be worth Bryan's time to run all of that through a trommel. The one micro nugget actually has some thickness to it. These are all really, really coarse pieces. They all have, you know, that hard rock jaggedness to them. These are all straight out of the bedrock, right out of the quartz. And then all the fines. Love how much character hard rock gold has. Crazy. And I brought those 2 big pyrite crystals home. Because, hey, why not? I think I'll probably just add those to one of my golden gem pay dirt bags. Someone will get a neat little pyrite crystal in their bag. If you're interested in any of my pay dirt, sell it all online. www.danhurdprospecting.com. Now that might be fun to throw into the microscope and have a really close-up look.
Well, there it is. The gold under the microscope. I can get a lot closer than that. I just wanted to show it all to you as one first. There's one piece in there which is actually more of a placer piece than a hard rock piece. It's right dead center right now. I'll get a zoom in on that. This site has both placer and hard rock gold. Now the placer is mostly up on the hill, but looks like one piece made it down to where I was panning today. So let's get in a little closer and see this close up and personal. It takes a bit to autofocus down there. Let's get really down. There's that placer piece. Ah, there's nothing actually. Let's get back in frame. There's that placer piece. You can see all the hard rock gold, really jagged, got wings and feathers and blades and everything, where that one piece in the center is kind of rounded. Means it's been tumbled down the hill, washed a little bit by water. Let's get that nugget right in dead center. Yes, I use the term nugget awfully loosely here. It is tiny. The micro nugget. You can see where it used to have ironstone all around it, which has rotted away or rusted away, leaving those voids. There's even a hole right through it. Cool looking structure. What else we got here? What else we got going on? Tiny stuff. Tiny, tiny, tiny. That one has some quartz attached to it. Quartz still attached to that one. Then a bunch of real fine stuff. I kind of like it when it's in the magnetite or ironstone pieces there. Gives great contrast. And that's about as close up as I can get of this stuff. Really magnified. You can see the one that's water run a bit right beside that one that has some quartz still attached. And then there's the nugget. At this tight of a magnification, when I'm this close, the depth of field is very, very narrow. That's why I can only get the top of the nugget in focus. Look at the small stuff. One more time focusing. There's the tiny stuff. Yes, that is tiny.
Now, I'm not doing another video of us detecting today. I am done here. If I do find any gold, I will leave you pictures right here of what we detected today.
Well, that was some pretty nice gold recovered in the afternoon after panning for the full morning and not getting very much. But this is my last day here at the claim, so let's show you everything I got in the week I was here. 4 days detecting, and I got quite the haul of gold. Now, this is not the first time I've been on this claim. I was here 2 years previous and got some great gold as well. Let's add that to the mix and show you everything I've got from this one claim. There's the gold from 2 years ago, those 5 on the left. Have a look at that. I don't have a scale that will actually weigh this high to tell you what the total volume is there, but that has to be over 2 ounces of gold and specimens. What an awesome spot. Amazing gold from the California Motherload. And look what Bryan found. How cute little lizard. Who does not like being held? Woo! There he goes. He doesn't walk, he just slithers.
Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave me that thumbs up. If I haven't earned your subscription yet, I hope I earned it today. A huge, huge, huge thanks to Bryan Thomas Gold, for inviting me out here, letting me play for a week on his claim, and find all of that gold. Thanks, Bryan! Hope you're all having a great day. Till the next one. Bye.
There's gold in them